How's it going, everybody? For those of you who don't know, over on Patreon, I have allowed my patrons to vote on which anime I should do reactions and reviews of. Had a poll, or two polls actually, running over there for a little while, and the one that got the most votes was Steins Gate, so that's what we're going to be starting here. So if you want to be able to vote in these polls, just head over to the Patreon, link in the description, and I'm going to be starting up other shows too that also got a high amount of votes, and just introducing more over time as we go and trying to get a good schedule going, and it'll be fun. So a lot of those shows that got votes are going to be started pretty soon, but we're starting with the #1 spot, Steins Gate, which I'm very excited about because I've heard nothing but great things for a long time about it. I've just never gotten around to actually watching it. All I know is I know like the characters' names and what they look like. I know that it's about time travel. I've heard it's the kind of series you want to rewatch when you finish it, so you can see like all the little details that you missed the first time, which is exciting. So yeah, also, if you want to get these episodes a week early, also check out the Patreon, because this will be coming out on Monday the 18th on Patreon, and then starting a week later on YouTube, and every episode will be a week later on YouTube. So yeah, we're going to get right into this. I'll have the subtitles and a timer so you can follow along, and it's going to be a full-length reaction review at the end. Time code for the review is in the description as well if you want to skip to that. And yeah, we're at the 00 mark. Funimation logo is going to come up, and let's jump into it. I'm excited. So here we go. 3, 2, 1, play. Let's go. Let's see what Steins Gate is all about. I'm actually pretty excited about a lot of the shows that were chosen, so glad to be getting into this, and this will be coming out on Mondays. Because I just don't know. All I know is that it's about time travel. Like the whole most chunk of the show. I don't know what the actual plot's going to be like. Is that Funimation logo going to be there the entire time? It's fine if it is. Ocarine. I know their names. I know his name is Okabe Rintaro. I think I've heard people say that the dub is good for this show, but I am watching it subbed. Turning point? Everything's very bright. El Sai Kangru. Very, very blown out with the lighting. She's just following him. Doesn't really know what he's doing there. Some kind of conference. Look, about a time machine. Did this man create a time machine? And he's just here talking about it in this tiny little room? But we have some kind of rumble. What's that? Is that a time machine? Do we have a time traveler? Because again, this is the kind of thing where you're going to be like, wait, what is that? Then 14 episodes later, you're going to see what it was. Because like somebody traveled back in time to do it or something. That's what I'm expecting. She wants some gacha stuff. Mayuri. Childhood friends. He kind of looks older than her, but that's just because she's so small and cutesy. Metal Upa. I think she wants it. Hoin Kiyoma. He's like, tell me what you want. When you look at me with that face, how can I resist? Okay. Let's hear what you got to say about a time machine. Apparently there's one on the roof, I think. Well, that didn't last long. And I'm very easily able to suspend my disbelief in time travel stories. Really? Apparently he's not. John Teeter. It's a real guy. A lot of people will get really into the details of time travel stories and be like, it doesn't make sense because of this and this and this. And usually, in general, with time travel, I just let it slide because it's not real. Time travel's not a thing. So, you know, whatever. There's always going to be some little inconsistency when you really think about it, and I usually let them pass. Unless it's like a giant gaping plot hole. He tried to tell her something earlier. Okay, he does know her, I was going to say, but he doesn't know who she is. He does. She's a published scientist of some kind. Okay. But he doesn't know what she's talking about, so I guess he's going to travel back in time later. I think he's just like Chuni. Like he's like, oh, there's an organization after me and my name is Hoin Kiyoma. I think that's his deal. Convenient. I can totally turn invisible, but only when no one's looking. That's what... Yeah, you're talking to yourself. She got you. Yeah, he doesn't know what she's talking about. So yeah, we've already got some stuff that you're going to have to go back on and get context for later. He was distressed. But how much of it is like actual craziness? How much of it is him having fun? Is he just kind of insane? Yeah, like I would be curious. I mean, I would just think, oh no, you have the wrong person, but she insists that he spoke to her, so you gotta be curious. And now we've got some static. Did she find her Oopa? Nope. That was a rare! Well, you ruined it. You wrote your name on it? $100 for that? You ruined the value of writing your name on it. Find it so I can sell it. I wouldn't have given it to you had I known. You had $100 in that little machine for a quarter or whatever? You know, in Japan, quarters. Somebody just got brutally murdered. This is pretty interesting. Again, like if you didn't know the series was about time travel, I mean you would, because immediately they start talking about a time machine that really clues you in. But there's enough setup and mystery here as to what's happening while... Oh, and she's dead. It sounded like a man screaming, so I don't know what was going on there, but... It's not confusing, because you know it's time travel related, and you know that we're going to get context for all of this. And you've got like a mad scientist main character, his little friend who likes her Oopas. Real bright stuff going on, bright light everywhere. It's kind of like a... I kind of want to say like oppressive atmosphere, just like with the blown out lighting. And with the mystery of just... You talked to me 15 minutes ago, what are you talking about? Static on the phone, somebody on the roof, her getting killed. It's like... It's a pretty tense atmosphere. I think the lighting is really... Up. He sent a message, and did he time travel? What happened? I think the lighting really kind of helps to sell the strangeness and the fact that not everything is normal and everybody's gone. It's an intriguing start, I will say. Did you just dial yourself back in time? Oh, she's there. Hello. DK Pepper, Donkey Kong Pepper, my favorite. I don't like Dr. Pepper. Oh, we're back. Okay. So I don't really know what happened there. Send the message, everybody's gone, and now we're back. And now rocks are falling from the sky. Is that the thing that was on the roof before? It doesn't... No? That was like a satellite? It crashed into the building? Oh, now we get the opening. I assume we weren't getting one. It's been like 10 minutes. Okay, cool. I'm intrigued. So yeah, hopefully you guys who have already seen this series will enjoy watching it again with me. And maybe there are some people who haven't seen it and will watch it for the first time here, and that's cool too. I like to get both perspectives. People revisiting it and people who are in the same spot as me. It'd be interesting to hear in the comments which camp you fall into. What you think about the series overall without spoilers, or what you think of just this episode, if this is all you've seen so far. But yeah, that's a pretty long time without an OP. That's unusual for an episode 1. I'm trying to think of other examples of that, like in a first episode where they have a really long cold open. Can't really think of any off the top of my head. I just assumed we wouldn't be having one, but yeah. A lot of trippy images. I like the song. Okay, let's get back into it. Looking into some security camera or something. Or for all I know, just like his TV. The Future Gadget Laboratory. The Figgle. She's researching sewing. Okay, he refers to himself as a mad scientist. Yes, of course. Shina Mayuri. Okay, Okarin Mayushi. Hashida Itaru, the soup. Ew. Okay, with the lead speak. What is happening? What? What was there a goat man? It's a lofty goal. You want to cause chaos. Okay. What am I looking at? What is this? Alpaca Man. That's a character in One Piece recently. Was that a reference to this? Is he from something? Those 2D girls. Of course. So he's the otaku. He's got the waifus. Why is there an alpaca? Is this a show? I think they said it's a game? If they were in someone's screen. Ridiculous. But again, like his delusions, like how much of it is since we've got time travel and stuff. How much of this organization is going to be real? They're not even, they don't play along. Her out of innocence. And him out of, I'm not going to put up with that. What the hell did he just change the channel with? That's amazing. So that crashed down. Akihabara. Mm-hmm. Hold on. Okay, so we've already got shenanigans. He's got different memories than what they think happened. We have had some travel. He remembers being there. They say they saw it on TV and it was called off. I don't know what Steins Gate is. I don't know what the title is a reference to. Does he remember everything? Like seeing her dead? Seems to. He had a flash of it. It's a great remote. Never mind. Visually. It's not a big TV. I don't think you have to be that strong. Tenoji. Brown. Whatever. Of course, I haven't carried a CRT in quite a long time. Maybe they're heavy. $10? They're probably... He got real excited over $100. So... Oh. Okay. Your typical hostage relationship. She really likes those pigs. Gotta repair it, man. It's so bright. DK Pepper, baby. Okay. The intelligent drink. So sorry. I just don't like it, okay? Grave. Is he kind of like her caretaker after she lost family? No, they're the same age, apparently. But, you know, so you kind of look out for her. Number 8. What could it be? The phone, microwave. A phone, microwave? So they're like a little bit past high school. Is it a phone and also a microwave? Why do you need those things to be the same thing? Where does she get her money? Where do any of them? Microwave controlled with a phone? Okay. I've never microwaved a banana. Never thought to do such a thing. Of course. The reverse microwave. And I bet they... Ooh. Why did they turn green and slime? Is that what happens? Why do they turn green? Ew. No. That's gross. Uh-huh. Well, I don't know about the bland part. Have you tried them? Oh, why did you... No. Come on, man. Yeah, come on. Don't manipulate this innocent little girl. Make her say these things. Ferris. There's kind of a decent amount of content in this first episode. The what? Maid Cafe. Like, you had all that intrigue in the first part, and now we've continued to get a decent amount more here with just character interactions. Characterization. Are they gonna go there and it's not gonna be there? You gonna see if it can happen again? Yeah, he did. He went back in time or whatever that said that he... July. Just stabbed Makase Kurisu. But his last week. Did the message go back in time? In that moment, did he travel back in time and it sent from then? And there she is. She has not been killed yet. Okay. So yeah, definitely seems like the kind of thing where I would want to watch it twice. Which, if I end up enjoying the whole thing, will definitely happen. So, yeah, so far, that's very intriguing. Let's watch the ED just for the hell of it. See if there's anything after the credits. But that is mostly it for the reaction. We'll be moving on to the review after this, where I will collect my thoughts. Okay, episode 1 of Steins Gate. I was really excited that this was chosen in the poll. That's the first one I'm getting to, because I've been really excited to watch it, and now that I've finally seen the first episode, I'm very intrigued. I actually really kind of want to continue watching, like, right now. Probably won't, because I'll probably start some other shows first, but I'm tempted to just jump straight into the second episode, because this was really good. I enjoyed that a lot. I'm not going to talk about the plot all that much in this discussion, because this is the kind of series where you're not really supposed to know what's happening in the plot as of right now. But I think it's all handled in a really good way. So far, I'm intrigued by the direction and just the visuals. I think that's all well handled because it's so bright. Actually, kind of, is this bright? It's kind of like the way my room looks right now with all the windows and everything. It's just really like blown out and overexposed, and there's always this harsh, intense, bright white light in so many scenes, and it creates this specific atmosphere where you could tell it just immediately creates this air of mystery, makes something seem a little off. And one of the words that I came up with as I was watching it, I thought it felt kind of oppressive, like everything is just kind of surrounded by and enclosed, entrapped by this bright white light. It just gave it this good, intriguing air where you're like, everything just kind of feels a little bit off. And as for the actual plot, like I said, you don't really know a lot of the details right now, but the main thing that's clear is that it's about time travel. And even if you didn't know that going in, I think it's made pretty clear when you watch the episode, because they have the whole conference about time travel and this guy talking about a time machine and the John Titor story and everything, which was a real thing. And so even if you didn't know this was about time travel, I think by the end it's pretty clear. And just because of that, like, why would that be in the show other than to tell you, hey, this is what we're doing, this is what the story's about, time travel is involved. So because of that, things are confusing in that I don't know exactly what has happened, but it's not confusing in a bad way, because I know, like, it's time travel related. I know that eventually, hopefully, should it be well written, which I assume it is, because of how beloved the show seems to be, and how I've really never heard anybody say anything bad about it, that eventually we're going to have context for these things that we don't have context for yet. When we see somebody say something to somebody else, they're like, hey, you said this to me 15 minutes ago, and they're like, what? We see somebody doing something that we don't understand or saying something we don't understand. I can only imagine that later something else will be revealed, and we'll be like, oh, that's what that was. And if we don't recognize that at the time, we'll recognize it on a rewatch. You'll watch the show again, and you'll watch episode 1 with all the context of the next 24 or however many episodes, and you'll be like, oh, goddamn. And I'm excited to get to all that, to see all these pieces fall into place and make these connections, and hopefully eventually rewatch the series and have it be even better because of that. That's the kind of thing that really intrigues me, and I hope that's what happens here. I'm very much looking forward to all that, seeing somebody go back in time and they do this thing and that causes something that we saw before, and now we have context for it. And as for like specific time travel mechanics, I talked about in the reaction how I'm not a nitpicky person when it comes to time travel. It's like, just, it's a plot device, you know, for a story. It doesn't really matter all that much, because time travel is not a real thing. We don't have that. We don't know what it's like. So just kind of do whatever. Kind of make up the rules, and for the most part, it's fine. There could be some times where it's just like so glaringly, obviously stupid and terrible, and also the plot and characters around it aren't good, where I'll be like, I don't care. But, you know, for the most part, when you've got time travel in a story, I'm gonna be forgiving if not every single tiny little thing makes sense. Like, if you traveled in time and did this, that would actually affect this, because time travel would work this way. It's like, just let it, it's fine. I can turn my brain off when it comes to the logistics of fictional time travel. And again, like, time travel is a plot device. It's a vehicle just to get the show and the story moving. It's about the story and the characters and everything. And as long as that's good, you know, that can kind of distract you from any inconsistencies that time travel may have. So yeah, time travel can be fun, and I'm looking forward to seeing more of it. As of right now, you just have Okabe, the main character, at this conference. This girl, Makise Kurisu, says that he talked to her 15 minutes ago, and he's like, I don't know what you're talking about. Something, like, there's a rumble, the satellite crashes, there was a time machine on the roof maybe with a person getting out of it, Makise Kurisu died, and there was also a man screaming. Then he sent an email, and then he was by himself. I don't know if that was just like a transition of him going back in time. Did just the message go back? Like, he clearly went back. And then they're like, oh yeah, it was canceled and we didn't go. And he's like, what are you talking about? Of course we did. We were there and she died. But then they're there now and she's not dead. And his message, like, was received days before he sent it. So it's like, okay, there's just a bunch of... there's a bunch of dots and we will connect them later. So for now, it's very intriguing. And I was never like, what is going on? I don't get it. I'm so confused. Just because you understand that the core is about concept. And because of the strong presentation and the characters, that kept it grounded enough to where I was like, yeah, I'm really intrigued. I want to see what's going to happen. And that beginning was really about like the intriguing, weird stuff going on. And then after that, after the OP, which came in pretty late, we get more about the characters, which I'm also liking so far. We got Okabe Rintaro, or Okabe, or what does she call him? Ocarine, or Hoenn Kiyoma, as he calls himself. And I'm very intrigued by him. He's voiced by Mamoru Miyano, who's one of my favorite voice actors, and got a great maniacal laugh. And he's this mad scientist guy who's kind of strung along his two friends to do it, even though they don't seem to care, and they got no money, and he's trying to do, I don't know, but he's a Chunibyo, and he's like, this secret organization is trying to track me, and I have a secret phone that will turn off if anybody else touches it. That's why it doesn't seem like it's anything, and I am actually a mad scientist, and they're trying to get me. And it's like, okay, that's interesting. How much of this is like an act? How much of it is just a goof? How much of it is just that he's a crazy person? How much of it might be real? Like, is there going to be some kind of organization, something going on with like memory manipulation or manipulating people's minds in this sci-fi time travel show? I don't know. But it's intriguing so far, and you just get some good characterization for them with their interactions. Like when he is with this girl, Mayuri, she goes by Mayushi, that's what she called herself. She's this very innocent, cutesy, I don't want to say like dumb, but she seems to just kind of be a little spacey. I don't know all the details about her or anything, but she's into these gacha toys, and that was just a really good scene when he's like, well, it's just one of the harsh realities of the world. You don't get to have one because I'm not going to lend you money. And then he just gets one for himself just to rub it in her face. It's kind of like a douche persona in addition to the mad scientist aspect, because we then see that when it comes down to it, he's like, oh, all right, sure, I'll let you have it. And that's a great moment, too. There's a really good specific part where she calls him by his real name. He's like, no, I told you, Hoenn Kiyoma. But then when he sees her face just smiling up at him innocently, he's like, whatever, it's fine. And there's a great moment for the direction, because there's like a bell, like a ding sound effect, like this really pleasant, heartwarming sound that plays at the same time as her smile. And it's just like, oh, what a great scene, a great moment there. And I also love some of the exposition, like when they're at their lab and he's talking to the TV or whatever, and he's like, yes, I'm talking to you, the face on the other side of the screen, as he just introduces himself and his friends and everything. Not all the exposition was perfect, like during the Metal Upa scene, where he basically just states for no reason, like, yes, you and I are childhood friends. I'm like, okay, fine. But yeah, that was a really good scene, and we get good characterization with them, with those two, and her saying that she's his hostage. Sure, she seems to have lost her parents, maybe, some family, and he probably just takes care of her. I think they're the same age since they were childhood friends, but he seems to just take care of her, mostly, and I don't know what this whole hostage persona is. That's just what she calls it. I don't really know what's going on there. Then you got the other guy, Daru, and where Mayushi kind of ignores his Hoenn Kiyoma thing because she's just innocent and cute and whatnot. He just seems to be like, yeah, shut up, I don't care. He's the otaku hacker guy. And it's just, you just get some fun interactions between them. My favorite being when he tried to get her to say, like, say something about a squishy banana or whatnot. And he's like, no, don't make her say something like that. But yeah, I don't know really what much else to say. Like I said, you've got good characterization and character interactions. It's well directed and presented and intriguing without being like horribly confusing. I really want to get into more of it and see where it goes. Obviously, don't spoil me if you know where it goes. A lot of these things that I don't fully understand or connections that I haven't made yet, I'm sure I will as I go forward, because things are going to be revealed and I'll end up watching it through a second time and figure it all out as I go. So anything that you think is helpful, feel free to comment, but you know, no outright spoilers. If you've seen the show, let me know what you think of it as a whole and what you think I'm in for with my journey here and what you think of this episode and whatnot. And if you've never seen the show and you're watching it for the first time with me, let me know what you thought of this episode. So yeah, thank you for watching. Again, check out Patreon. You can vote in the polls and you can see these videos a week early. Subscribe, share, thumbs up, all that stuff. It's really extremely helpful, so thank you very much if you did. We'll be getting these videos out every Monday, and I'm pretty excited to continue with this show. So thank you for watching, and I'll see you guys later.